introduction. Okay, I'm Jeffrey Williams from Singapore. And my topic today, right, is getting to a yes with peak momentum. And I'm privileged to be invited by Microrbit to actually give this talk on how to get to a yes with peak momentum. So a quick introduction about myself. I'm 25 years in training consultancy and traveled widely in Asia and Southeast Asia. And my passion is to meet and build up rapport with people. And one of the very interesting topics that I cover is communication. So the question is, right, has been put before me is this, right? Can we not communicate? Can we not communicate? So let's go through to see, right, why we cannot not communicate. It's important that we communicate with each other, but more so, right, how to get a yes in terms of communication. So in part, okay, we're going to deal a lot with negotiation skills. At the same time, right, how we're going to negotiate for us to get a better deal, a better package, and how we're going to bring results in terms of our communication with one another. So this question is, how do we get to a yes with peak momentum? So I'd like to introduce this part on self, thinking, strategy, and execution. Self, thinking, strategy, and execution. So in a nutshell here is that if we want to reach the yes with peak momentum, there's a few areas we need to look at. Number one, we look at ourselves. Number two, we look at the thinking processes that we have. Number three, we look at the strategies that we're going to deploy in order to get to a yes. And number four is execution. How are we going to execute it? So that is where we're going to touch on this. So in a nutshell here, self-thinking, strategy, and execution is a concept we use in our everyday life. For example, when we are planning, our itinerary for the day, what are we going to do? How are we going to get there? What are the strategies to actually get there? And how are we going to execute it? So in a nutshell here is in every activity that we do every day, there is always this part where we need to get to a yes. And when we do so with peak momentum, that is even more better. So question is, I've got a question here. Where do you jump tomorrow? Jump in with everyone else or jump to the right? Now, this question has been bugging me for many, many years. Many years. So this is a crossroads where I hit the crossroads, and you come to any one of us. I hit the crossroads and see where we are going to jump. We're going to jump in with everyone else, or we're going to jump in to the right. We see blue, clear waters. Okay, so let's touch with the part on the waters which is filtered with debris. It is safe to jump in those waters. Why? Because everyone else is there. So everyone else is there. We get to connect with everyone else there. We get to work with each other. We get to bring results. Okay, not only to us but to the organizations where we work together. So everyone is there in that water. Where there's clear blue waters. So this is a question that was bugging me for many, many years. And I told myself this, that I need to do something different. To do something different, I need to challenge myself to jump to the waters on the right. And that's what I did. So for the past 15 years, setting up my own business, and getting to what I want, I took the plunge to jump to the right. And this is what happens. This is where you challenge yourself to get to see all the different challenges in life, and also difference in terms of how we're going to react or respond to those challenges. And it's come to a big surprise for me, because I did jump to the right, and from that day onward, I never regretted my decision to jump to the right. So in order to get to a yes in terms of how we're going to negotiate in life, how we're going to communicate with one another, or how we're going to get something for our own benefits, try something different. Try something different. And that is what I did. And that's where I jump in with the blue waters and I jumped to the right. So how to get to a yes with peak momentum? There's a eureka or aha moments. 4 areas here. Communicate assertively, which I'm going to expand it in a short while. Connecting emotionally, speaking confidently and listen actively, embracing the yes or yes. Now, a question is being asked sometimes. What do you think of certain incidents which happen? And the question is posed to us, and we always say yes, yes or yes. That is where, right? Yes is a confident yes. So yes or yes. So that is where we embrace the yes. And when we embrace the yes, we are connecting emotionally and we are communicating assertively. So let's go through what we'll cover as we go along. Tip number one. How to communicate to get to a yes. Now, I love this concept of the Johari window. 4 areas to this window. So the window number 1 is the open area. Window number 2 is the blind area. So we can actually divide this window into four areas. Window number 1, the open area. Window number 2, the blind area. Window number 3, the hidden area. And window number 4, the unknown area. So let's touch on the open area. Now, in order for us to communicate interpersonally with our colleagues, with our friends, with our peers, with our bosses, with the management team, we need to look at this open area. And what is this open area constitutes? Number 1 is this: we get to know each other. Number 2, I know you, you know me. Number 3 is when I know you, you know me, that is where, right, we are able to work together. Our windows are open. Window number 2, the blind area. Now, this is a very special area which sometimes I'm not aware of, but others are aware of it. It's a blind spot to me. So others knows my strength, they know my weaknesses, but I do not know myself. And this is something that I need to work on, because at times I find myself in the blind area. So how to be more aware of the blind area? Watch your actions. Watch how you perform things, how you communicate with people, how you open the doors or break the ice with people. And to give you an example here, my colleague, when I was leaving the office, I clean up my tables before I leave my office. That's my style, and he saw me arranging my stuff at the office desk, and he said, "There's Jeffrey. I watched you. I see, yes. What do you notice? Wow, you're really, really neat and tidy." I said, "No, this is my character. This is my behavior of how I do things. I like to ensure that everything is neat and tidy before I leave the area or before I go back home. I think that is your strength. So I told him, I said, this is my normal self. But that is your strength. So in the end, what my boss did was, "Jeffrey, I need you to organize an event for the company." And I did that. And whoa, it went on so well, and I enjoyed it so much. What became a blind spot for me became my strength. And I wasn't aware of it until someone had to tell me that I was good in that area. So at times, when we do things, or when we are communicating with people, the tendency is we hold back. We hold back and we are not opening our windows. And that is a big problem in terms of communication. We hold back. And sometimes when we hold back, that is actually our blind area. That is actually our blind area, which we are not aware of. Okay, let's go to the window number 3, the hidden area. Now, I know what I'm good at, but others do not know. Others do not know. Now, I want to hide my talent. I want to hide my talent. What I don't want to show to others is this, right? What I'm good at. So I want to hide my talent. So there's a hidden area that I want to hide. Number 1, why I do that is, number 1, I have to protect myself. Number 2 is to ensure, right, that whoever knows about my, that no one knows about my talent. I want to hide it. There's a window number 3, and that is not going to get to a yes. Window number 4 is the unknown area. I do not know you, you do not know me. Our windows are closed. And that is a problem in the office space. Now, this concept is by Jonathan Lutfi and Harry Ingham in 1955, and they did a research on the in the office, and it's sad to say why people are not communicating enough in the office environment. They are not working together because of barriers, and these are the barriers that we need to look at. And the window number 1, right, is where we want to get into, because there's an open area. I know you, you know me. So in order to get a yes, we need to open our windows. We need to open our windows in order to get a yes. Tip number 2, understanding the different styles, okay, and identifying and understanding your patterns, your communication style with people, getting to a yes. I'm going to touch on 4 areas, and the last one, right, is a bonus. I'm going to share with you on the different learning styles. But let's touch on the 4 areas. Passive communication style. Number 2, aggressive communication style. Number 3, passive aggressive communication style. And number 4, assertive communication style. Now, let's put a question. Let's put a statement from my boss to me. Say, Jeffrey, we need a report from you to be on my desk in 2 weeks' time. And this report is a sales report that I need to do with the different regions in Singapore to actually conduct a survey, so that report will be on my boss' table in 2 weeks' time. So now I'm standing as a boss right now. Now, in terms of passive communication style, it's not recommended. What can happen is this, Jeffrey, no worries. You got all the time in the world. Just take your time to actually come up with the report. No rush, no worries. Just take your time. I said I've got 2 weeks. Never mind, 2 weeks is no. We can actually extend to 4 weeks or maybe to a month. That is passive communication style. Too relax. At any time, you can actually put on my table the report. Aggressive communication style. This is a big no. Jeffrey, now this report I need it for tomorrow. Now I've given you time, a little bit time previously to actually do some survey, but tomorrow I need the report to be on my table. Tomorrow I need the report to be on my table. Aggressive. Tomorrow, but I need at least another 2 weeks to actually get it done. No, tomorrow. Tomorrow, get the report on my table. Too aggressive. Now, passive-aggressive communication style here is this. Within 2 weeks, get the report on my table. 2 weeks, get the report on my table. But if you find that you need more time, let me know. I can extend the time. But I need the report. I need the report. So you see that the passive-aggressive style of working. Assertive style. This is what we want to, is recommended. Jeffrey, within 2 weeks, we need the report on my table. Within 2 weeks, I need a report on my table. So can you get it done? We'll get 2 weeks on my table. I'll give you that 2 weeks period to actually find out all the information. But within 2 weeks, I need a report on my table. Assertive. And this is what we want. Assertive communication style. So based on the 4 styles that I've gone through, which style are you? And that is important, because if you know the different styles of identifying how to communicate, then we are getting to a yes. And the recommended ones is the assertive communication style, because we don't want to be too passive. We don't want to be too aggressive. That is where, right, we feel that we are so stressed and we run away from it. Or neither do we want to be passive aggressive. We want to be more assertive in terms of our style and in terms of how we communicate with people. Now, the different learning styles. So each and every one of us, we have different learning styles. We got visual, we got kinesthetic, we got auditory, we got kinesthetic auditory. So we got a different styles of how we communicate. And based on our strengths, either we look at visual. So visual here is this, right? I see. So if you're talking to me too much words, without any pictures or without any photos, I cannot connect with you. And in order for us to get to a yes in communication at a peak moment, right, we need to see what is the style that suits us best, that we are in for. If I'm a visual person, then right, I'll need to see pictures, I need to see photos in order for me to communicate better. If I'm an auditory person, it sounds like, so I need to have noise. I need to have, it sounds like this, it sounds like that. So I need to have some noise in order for us, in order for me to communicate with you. And kinesthetic, right, is a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions involved, where, when you communicate with me through stories, I'm able to connect with you. Why? Because that is where I love to hear stories. Kinesthetic. So in terms of our communication styles, that's tip number 2. In order for us to get to a yes, we need to know our communication styles. What styles suits us best? Tip number 3, know what someone wants, ask the right question. So persuasion here. So in order for us to communicate, and this is the last part of how to get to a yes, is persuasion and influence. So in order for us to negotiate better, in order for us to get what we want, then we need to know what are some of the questions, right questions to ask. For example, what is in it for me? What do I benefit from this whole activities or this whole situation? How do I benefit from it? And also, right, we need to look at the value that we place in our styles. So what is a value that I carry? What is a value that I really love in terms of getting this done? And the last part, right, is to communicate assertively to reach a goal or consensus. So here, right, is this, we need to get to a yes, we need to communicate assertively. So I've given you an example previously about my boss getting a report on my table, getting a report to his table, and how we're going to reach a goal or consensus to get that done. So, and part of getting what we want is we look at the motivation part. That is the intrinsic motivation. So this, we have 4 areas here. We got a sense of choice. We got a sense of competence. Okay, we got a sense of meaningfulness, and we got a sense of progress. Now, if we know what we want, then we can tap on the strength that we want to get to a yes with peak momentum. So example, sense of choice. Now, we got a flexibility to choose what we want. And if we like it, we are passionate about that thing, we go for it. Because there's a sense of choice that I make. Now, that choice is important because we are given the flexibility to choose, and we are empowered to actually to make decisions. And this is a choice that suits us best. So that is where we talk about flexibility, the empowerment, and giving us a flexibility of doing what we love to do. Number 2, right below, the sense of meaningfulness. Now, sometimes we're in the job for so long, and we find that it becomes mundane, becomes monotonous. So how to find meaning? Every day, something different. Challenge yourself to actually do something different, something meaningful for you. Maybe you're saying good morning, okay, in the office to start the whole day running. Good morning, everyone. How's the day today? And you carry it on throughout the day, and doing something meaningful, something beneficial for everyone. And that is where you add color to what you are doing right now with your roles and responsibilities at the workplace. Sense of competence on the right side here is where nothing matters to me but to put in my 100% best, to give my best in order to compete well. And that is a sense of competence that we have. So how are we being motivated? It's a sense of competence. Because we want to give our best, and the best is all that we need to perform well. The sense of progress right at the bottom is we need to see, right, we're climbing up the ladder. Example, when we are in a job for so long, we want to climb up the ladder to see next step is being a supervisor, next time being a manager, and maybe a department manager, and so forth. So there is a sense of progress in the workplace, or a sense of progress individually, how I see myself to actually progress to become a better speaker, to become a better coach, and so forth. So here, right, is the intrinsic motivation. What motivates people to a resounding yes with peak momentum is the choices that we have, the competence that we are performing in the workplace, the sense of meaningfulness in what we are doing, and a sense of progress in how we see ourselves in 2 or 3 or 5 years' time. That is the intrinsic motivation within us to get to a resounding yes with peak momentum. Okay, last part is on negotiation techniques. So once we know our strength, we know our style of communicating, we know what we want in terms of our motivation, comes the techniques of how we're going to use that strength that we have in terms of how we're going to negotiate. And there's five areas here. Number 1 is competence. Competence, win-lose. I win, you lose. So negotiating table here, right, is I win, you lose is something that we want to have, but not all the time that we're going to have it. Why? Because we have to see the situation in the negotiating table. Collaboration, this is the best part, is win-win. I win, you win. We get 50-50. That's for both parties. They will win something at the negotiation table. Avoiding, if something that cannot be negotiated, I'll leave the table, because getting too much into it, right, will waste our time, energy, and money. Accommodating, right, is where I won't want to be in this situation, but maybe in only once. Okay, where I lose, you win. I accommodate your requests. By the end of it all, I want to get to a competence area where I win and then you lose. And the last one is compromise, is win some, lose some, is when we compromise, to get things done. And we call it the laws of reciprocity. Okay, where we win some, we lose some. So last part, okay, look at the strategies. ZOPA, zone of possible agreement. Here is where, right, when we are negotiating, okay, there's our interests. We can actually overlap our interests to have a buffer to actually negotiate. So we call it a zone of possible agreement, when there's a buffer of what I'm willing to pay and what you're willing to buy. But then based on our interests here, okay, that we share some interests, that is where, right, there's a buffer we can actually negotiate. So we call it a zone of possible agreement. And every one of us, we have our but now. Best alternative to a negotiated agreement. So if the original agreement doesn't take root or doesn't become fruitful, then we can look at some of the alternatives that we can have in terms of bringing it out. So this concept was being initiated in 1981. Okay, and this concept is, when we are going to a negotiating table, we need to have an alternative. We need to have an alternative. And the last one, right, is negotiation principle, is where we talk about principle of reciprocity. Is I do you a favor, you do me a favor the next time, and this is how we negotiate in order to get a yes. In order to get a yes in terms of how we can actually negotiate with big momentum. Okay, so some of the plans that you can take responsibility for the part of the situation you can influence to get a yes, acknowledging a win-win outcomes and a winning mindset to get to a yes, maintain your self-confidence and well-being, and a resounding yes mindset. So in every situation that we have, we want to have a resounding yes mindset, because that is where, right, we can win. That is where, right, we can negotiate better. That is where, right, we can actually communicate better with people around us. So get to a resounding yes mindset. So I got a question and answer. So I finished my sharing. Thank you very much for